For the first time in many years, should the US expect a complete overhaul on the main Eurasian battlefield? Stay with us until the very end, because the final moments of this broadcast will bring you my opinion that may shock you. An urgent report that is already setting the information space ablaze. The White House is currently becoming the epicenter of a global geopolitical drama. Today, this Thursday, November 6th, U.S. President Donald Trump is hosting the leaders of 5 key Central Asian nations, the heads of Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. This meeting is not just diplomatic protocol. It is a seismic shift on the map of global influence, and what we learn about its underlying motives could completely overturn your perception of the near future of global resource supplies. According to Reuters, this unprecedented meeting is taking place against the backdrop of an unprecedented tightening of competition among the world's major powers for dominance in Central Asia. Why has this region, which has long remained in the shadows, suddenly attracted such intense attention from Washington? The answer lies in the depths of these countries. Central Asia is fabulously rich in critically important minerals. And it is also a key crossroads for strategic trade routes. The Trump administration, as reported by insiders and analysts, has set an ambitious goal to seize the initiative in this extremely wealthy region. Washington is actively seeking new, reliable partners who can provide the U.S. with uninterrupted supplies of strategic minerals, vital energy resources, and equally important, provide land trade routes that allow them to completely bypass geopolitical rivals. We are talking about the creation of an absolutely new logistical and resource corridor that will radically change the current global balance of power. Gracelyn Bascarin, director of the Center for Strategic and International Studies, CSIS, sheds light on the details of this new American strategy. According to her, the White House's approach will combine classic intergovernmental agreements with large-scale and lucrative commercial deals. The primary goal is to guarantee the United States direct and reliable access to those strategic resources that are critically important for America's national security and economic development in the next decade. And here lies the key intrigue and the reason for such haste. While Washington is just laying out its cards, other major players have long and firmly entrenched their positions. Bascarin states directly, while China and another country are actively consolidating control over the region's mining, processing, and infrastructure systems, Washington is making a desperate attempt to create its own point of influence through targeted strategic projects. Central Asia, despite all its geographical distance from the U.S., has found itself at the very center of the new great game, and the stakes in this game are maximal. It is important to understand that. For now, Central Asia still maintains strong economic ties with one of its largest neighbors, which creates certain difficulties for Western investors. At the same time, China is demonstrating incredible activity, aggressively expanding its presence through massive investments in infrastructure projects, the construction of transport corridors, and of course, the mining sector. The American administration is well aware that there is no time to waste. If the U.S. does not enter this region right now, they risk being permanently left out of the distribution of the planet's most valuable resources. And the resources, it must be admitted, are awe-inspiring. The 5 countries represented today at the White House, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan, collectively possess colossal reserves of uranium, copper, gold, rare earth metals, and a host of other critically important elements. These resources are not just important, they are absolutely essential for the global energy transition, for the creation of the green energy that promises to change the world. From solar panels and wind turbines to high-tech electronics and defense systems. All of this requires the very minerals found in the depths of Central Asia. Let's look at specific figures that will make you understand the scale of what is happening. Kazakhstan, the largest economy in the region, under the leadership of Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, provided almost 40% of the world's uranium production in 2024. 4 out of 10 nuclear power plants on the planet are powered by fuel originating from Kazakhstan. And that's not all. Uzbekistan is among the top 5 global producers of this same strategic resource. Together, these two countries supply the world market with more than half of all uranium mined globally. Why is this directly and urgently relevant to the United States? Uranium is a strategic raw material for American nuclear energy, which ensures the stability of the power system and is the foundation for electricity production. Currently, according to journalists, a major supplier provides about 20% of imported uranium to the U.S., which creates huge risks to America's energy security. The diversification of uranium supply sources is not just a desirable condition. It is national priority number 1 for Washington. This is precisely why Tokayev and the president of Uzbekistan, along with their colleagues from the other countries, are at the White House today. The U.S. goal is not just to find a replacement for existing supplies. The goal is to secure such dominance that it excludes any potential geopolitical leverage. Through commercial deals, through investments in new mines and logistics, the U.S. seeks to create a situation where its critically important supply chains are reliably protected from any external threat and completely independent of competitors. This is, in essence, an economic maneuver of the century, aimed at redistributing global resource flows. The meeting at the White House will be a platform for discussing not only raw material deals, security issues, the fight against extremism, and, importantly, the development of alternative transport corridors are undoubtedly on the agenda. The U.S. is interested in Central Asian countries having a real opportunity for economic sovereignty, which will allow them to avoid excessive dependence on any one large neighbor. This is a subtle and multifaceted diplomatic dance where every step carries enormous weight. In addition to uranium, let's not forget about copper, gold, and especially rare earth metals. These elements are the lifeblood of modern industry, from the production of electric vehicles to the latest military technologies. Control over their extraction and processing is, in essence, control over the technological future of the planet. Central Asia here represents a golden Klondike that is underdeveloped, or at least not fully developed, by Western companies. The investment agreements that may be signed following this meeting could include billions in investments in infrastructure development, the creation of joint ventures, and the training of local personnel, which will allow the U.S. to gain a stake in these critically important sectors. Trump's negotiations with the leaders of Central Asia are essentially a signal to the world. America is returning to the region with serious intentions and impressive financial resources. This is not just a one-time visit. It is expected to be the start of a long-term and strategic partnership designed to counter the growing influence of other major players who have already established themselves on this land. Washington is betting that the economic attractiveness and technological leadership of the U.S. will outweigh existing ties and be able to tip the scales in favor of the West. For the Central Asian countries themselves, this meeting is also a landmark event. It provides them with a unique opportunity to diversify their foreign economic ties and gain a powerful Western counterweight to their Eastern neighbors. Each of these 5 presidents, without a doubt, came to Washington with a clear agenda, seeking to secure the most favorable conditions for their country. whether it be investment in energy, the development of the transport network, or security agreements. This is a chance for the region to become not just a raw materials appendage, but a full-fledged and equal player on the international stage. In the coming days, we will likely witness the signing of a number of agreements that will have far-reaching consequences. Keep an eye on our newsfeed, because it is here that we will promptly and thoroughly analyze every aspect of this crucially important diplomatic mission. The consequences of this meeting will be felt in global resource markets, in the defense sector, and perhaps even in energy tariffs around the world. While we await official statements on the outcome of the talks, I would like to turn to you, dear viewers and subscribers. If you understand the full importance of this geopolitical intrigue and want to be the first to know how the world is changing, please like this video and subscribe to our channel right now. It is only through your support that we can continue to create exclusive and in-depth content for you, revealing the true mechanisms of world politics. Don't miss the opportunity to become part of our community so you don't miss the next shocking revelation. Click the bell to receive notifications. This situation with Central Asia is not just a deal about selling uranium. It is a global test of the U.S.'s ability to forge new alliances in critically important world locations. Are they capable of winning over partners, offering more favorable and long-term conditions than those offered by their competitors? Will the dollar be able to create a more attractive alternative to existing economic models in the region? The answers to these questions are being formed right now behind the closed doors of the White House. Particular attention should be paid to the issue of trade routes. Washington is interested in creating the Middle Corridor, a land route that will connect Europe with Asia, bypassing the territories of geopolitical opponents. Central Asia is an integral part of this corridor. Investments in roads, railways, and customs infrastructure in these 5 countries could be astronomical, and this, in turn, could lead to an economic boom in a region that has previously been severely limited in its foreign trade capabilities. This is not just logistics, it is economic liberation for an entire region. Thus, against the backdrop of this meeting, Central Asia is transforming from a peripheral region into a center of global geopolitical gravity. And this is happening rapidly and without much fanfare. Everything we are talking about is strategic planning for decades to come. Control over resources, control over routes, control over the future. This is what is being discussed in Washington today. We continue to follow the developments and are preparing the most comprehensive coverage for you.